We're back, day 3, night 3 session at Harrah's Pompano Beach Casino. The first 2 days are just brutal. I just don't think I'm doing that much wrong. Just not running super well. And I'm playing with my net, right? So it's not fun. Hopefully this place can treat us well. And wish me the best of luck. Like, we're just gonna get right into it. I lied. During our off day, Henry and I got to go watch Florida Caps play and look at these seats. I mean, this was just a different way to see the game. It was fantastic. Little bank run.
3.
Hotel's got a putting green.
5.
And a pong table. No worries. 6. And then right across the street from Harrah's is actually a Topgolf, which is sick. I've never been to one. It's just a really cool driving range that they have in the States. But yeah, without further ado, let's check this out. By far, instantly just walked upstairs. My favorite room so far. Hard Rock's a better casino, obviously, but this place is just wicked. You have to walk upstairs. Look at these fountains and the greenery. That's so cool. Well done, Harris. Our very first hand of the session, the very first deal we sit down at, I have ace-10 of spades. Henry's on my right. We both just sat down. 1-2. There's a limp from under the gun and +1. So when it gets to me in the hijack, I decide to raise to 15. The button calls and one of the limpers calls. So 3 ways to a pretty good flop of queen jack 4 with 2 spades, nut flush draw, and gutter to the nuts. The under the gun checks, and I decide to bet just to thin out the field. And I have a ton of equity, so wanting to get it in good. Again, I bet 15, and only the button calls, so heads up out of position to the jack of diamonds, pairing the board. Not my favorite card at all, as if he has queen jack, I'm just drawing stone dead. And I decide to slow down and check. He wastes no time in betting $30. I don't love this spot, but for this price, I think we have a very easy call here. So that's what I do, and the river is the beautiful king of clubs, giving me the nut straight. I decide to check again, and he instantly goes all in for 103. We didn't hit this river to fold, so I just snap call. And he shows ace-2 offsuit. He also thought he had a straight, he said, so I don't know if I kind of feel bad that he misread his cards here, but I am down way too much on this trip to even consider giving any money back. It's on him. First hand double up. Let's go. Around 10 minutes later, I'm in the low jack, and I look down at pocket 2s and call a $10 raise from a pretty tight player. There's one more caller, so 3 ways to 8-4 deuce rainbow. Holy shit, finally some run good. The pre-flop raiser continues for 10, and I decide to just flat, having the board pretty locked. The other player sadly folds, so heads up to the queen of hearts, bringing a backdoor flush draw, and possibly giving him a top pair, or maybe top set, but highly unlikely. Overall, very happy to see this card. He continues, but only for $15, so I doubt he's too strong. I contemplate raising here, but I don't think it's the best idea. He's just going to be folding out all of his ace highs, which he might continue to barrel, but I know he would be going bigger with an overpair or a queen, so I just decided to put in the call. The river's the 4 of spades, giving me a full house, and he shouldn't be putting me on many quads or 4s. He again continues, but only for $20, just seems super weak. Like he has to bet because he's the pre-flop raiser. Nothing to do but put in the raise here. I raised to 80, trying to get a crying call from like 9s or 10s basically, maybe, but he basically snap folds. So, not the worst result. Can't zoom. Lexo Poker is right there. We're gonna go try to get an interview. Unfortunately, Lexo seemed a little bit tilted, like he was having a bad session, so did not talk to him that much. But this is our vlog, not his. Let's move right along to a great hand, King 8 of hearts. If you guys have watched my videos, you know Queen 9 of hearts and King 8 of hearts I just get out of line with. I'm in the hijack yet again, and in this hand I'm going against the button, who's the same player who misread his hand. He's an absolute maniac, or just doesn't know what he's doing. This is about 30 minutes into the session. I've just realized he has no idea what's going on. So the button straddled to 5. There's 3 callers, so I decided to just call. I thought about raising, but decided against it for some reason. The button checks, and we go multi-way to a flop of King Jack 6 with 2 clubs, Top pair, not feeling great, very confident with the mediocre kicker, but I could definitely be ahead. It checks all the way to the button. I decide to check. Who bets 15? And then everybody calls to me, and I just think this should just be played as a fold in this spot, but it's super draw heavy, and I think two pairs plus should be raising. So I decide to call the turn, and then, or the flop, excuse me. And now the turn brings the six of spades, bringing another flush draw, and now we chop with king 9 or king 10. I'm pretty happy to see this card. Checks to the button again, who now bets 30. And now both of the other players fold. So it's me versus the button, and I know he's crazy. I know he can have anything. So now I think I have a very easy call. The river bricks out with the two of hearts. I check, and he snap shoves again. And I snap call, and he shows jack 7 of diamonds for second pair, but that's no good. Like, this is what I mean. This guy is, I think he's a clear check back, but whatever. Let's watch Henry be an absolute luck box. Ace 5 off versus 3-5. You're just joking.
I knew it.
You're such a box. Ace 2. Ace 2. Ace 2.
Oh my god.
15 outs and I don't get any of them.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable.
This guy's a box. I simply don't understand. That was all in pre-flop as well. Like, come on. Anyways, let's move along where I look down at ace queen off in the big blind. There's two limpers all the way to me, so I raised to 15. I think this is a mistake. I should be going to 20 or even 25. There's only one caller, and he's pretty tight. So heads up to not a great flop of 7-4 deuce rainbow. I do continue as I would with my entire range basically for $10. Pretty small because he has a very short stack. He calls. The turn is the 5 of spades, giving me a straight draw and a flush draw. He is $69 behind, and I don't think betting small is a good idea here with my hand. So I decide to go all in and put max pressure on 8s, 9s, etc. I should have plenty of good hands against him as well, and plenty of outs. So I decide to go all in for 6-9. He snap calls, which is terrible news, as I could be dead to a spade. And he shows pocket fours for a flop set, so fuck me, but I still have a few outs. The 7 of hearts is not one of them, as he boats up. I'm just gonna punt my winning skinny, thank you. Moving right along where we look at pocket jacks on the button. Isn't this the perfect hand to make all your money back with? Not. We moved tables, Henry and I just got caught bluffing my entire stack by this guy who seems to be a pro. And this is the following hand I added on for 300. I'm on the button straddle, and there's 5 limps to me. I look down at jacks, as I said. Nothing to do but raise, so I go to 30. Again, I think this is too small. Bad blunders, but the first limper who just stacked me, the pro, he now limp raises to 90, which is not a move you see very often, especially by solid players. But because of my aggression in the previous hand to him, and the fact I'm on the button and it's a limp pot, I feel like he could be getting out of line because he thinks I'm out of line. So when it folds all the way around to me, I just decide to put the rest in, and thinking he might call with ace 10, ace queen if we're flipping, and I already have money in, so it's a good shove, or even a low pocket pair that he might want to call off with. So I go all in for 300 exactly, and he snap calls and shows ace king. Let's go see what happens. The flop comes king 10-4 rainbow, just crushing because now he's winning. The turn is another king, and now we're just dead to 2 outs. The river's a complete brick. There was another player who said he folded ace king. Just cannot win these flips in these important spots in this trip, man. It's so brutal. A long time passes before I finally pick up another hand. Pocket aces in the small blinds. There's a raise to 10 from under the gun. The hijack calls, and I only have $152, so I don't need to go super big. I just raised to 40. Both players end up calling, so that's not amazing news, but it's fine. And 3 ways to a flop of 6-5-3 with 2 diamonds. Being out of position against both of these ranges, I actually decide to check my hand here, and I can go for some check raises depending on sizing. The under the gun player checks, and now the hijack bets 65. A really big size, representing a good hand, but like, what can I really do here? I mean, he could have a flush draw or open-ended. I go all in for 112, and he snap calls, the other guy folds, so really not good. Turn is a board pairing 4, making me feel much better because pocket 4s are so much less likely. And the river's the 10 of diamonds, making my heart absolutely sink. But no worries as he turns over pocket 5s for a flop set. Fucking. After that aces hand, I just stopped filming just to keep my head in the game, and wasn't like tilted, but I was just pretty like sad that this was all happening to me. Maybe my sizings are just blundering, and that's what causes this to happen. But this is 2 hours later. This is the last interesting hand, and I have king 10 off on the button. You can see it's already flipped up because I wasn't filming until the river. There's 3 limps to me. We're only playing 4-handed, and I just decided to check here. Maybe you can raise sometimes, but not this time. Lucky for me, the flop comes queen 10-10 rainbow. We flop trips with a great kicker. It checks to me, and I just decide to bet small for $5. The small blind decides to check raise me to 15, so let's go. We finally get something going. It folds back to me, and I like to just call. Turn is overkill. It's the case 10 giving me quads, and now a queen will have a very tough time folding. He sadly checks, though, and I debate for a bit, but decide to check back and let him catch up because this check doesn't really seem like a queen, but maybe he's trying to trap. I don't really know. And the river's the 7 of diamonds, changing absolutely nothing. He now overbets the pot for $100, and instantly in my head he's like, okay, just as a queen. He was trapping on the turn. So I just go all in and for his remaining stack, and he says call, question, like in a questioning voice. I tell him the bad news, and he does indeed show a queen, so let's go. I also won the high hand here for an extra $100, which is great news. Absolutely needed that. This is by far my favorite card room so far, just the room itself, not the casino, but gorgeous spot. Won the high hand. Henry also won the high hand, which is really cool.
Made him play the hand.
Yeah, no, it was actually against me. We were heads up pot, and he flopped top set with kings, and he bet, and I was like, I didn't have anything, but he said, dude, call. And I called, turns another king for quads, and then I had quad 10s as well, which is awesome. 6.5 hour session today, in for 1,000, out for 600. So just another absolute beating. We really need to turn this around for this trip, or else we are absolutely fucked. Like, nothing else to say. Hopefully we can get out on the golf course on Wednesday. Today's Sunday. But yeah, today was a really fun session, like great spots. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a good video. Like, just really liked it. But yeah, anyways, thanks so much. And the next session will probably be at Coconut Creek or Dania. So stay tuned for that.